Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. What a crazy few weeks it has been. OpTic Scump has confirmed with immediate effect his retirement from professional Call of Duty. After a legendary career spanning almost 15 years, he's decided to hang up the sticks and call it a day earlier than we were expecting. We thought he was retiring at the end of the season. He's retired now after all the OpTic turmoil. He goes into a lot of detail here as to why. Dashy will replace him on the OpTic lineup in a remarkable turn of events over the past few days. And obviously it's really sad for us as COD fans, right? Just because Scump, for many of us, was part of our childhoods growing up. All the content he made got me and many others into competitive Call of Duty. What a service he has given to this esports. And obviously we're wishing him all the best. We've got to dive into all the details today. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. And let's crack right on. So it started here really a few minutes before Scump's announcement video went out. Ronnie was talking here about some rumors around that Dashy was returning to the OpTic lineup. And I was like, okay, this is very interesting, right? It implies potentially that, like, let's say iLLeY's visa situations are worse than we thought. We've got the rumors, or well, not really rumors, but Shotzzy said that iLLeY's had some visa difficulties, which means he's currently flying from Canada. Maybe, okay, maybe Dashy's going to come back in. They're going to say, all right, iLLeY, it's not going to work out for the major, so better put Dashy in now to get some practice with that team going into the major. But it did seem a questionable one because they seemed very good with iLLeY, right? Just a couple of days ago when they played Boston. And of course, visa issues, the return of Dashy, these are all the discussions going around. Of course, immediate memes as well after Rambo and Dashy and their discussion. And like earlier today, we said that Rambo seems to be changing his coaching style or taking another approach. And I raised the question earlier today, why would they need to do that if Dashy's gone, right? If Dashy's gone and the rest of the team likes Rambo's style, why is Rambo making these changes? And it seems like that reason may now become rather obvious with Scump confirming in. Honestly, it's got to be said, a really emotional video, man. Like, as someone who's followed Call of Duty for a very long period of time, and really when I first got into watching COD, it was through Scump's videos, through Nadeshot's videos. I think for me, it was actually Scump more so than Nadeshot, watching all of his Black Ops 2 stuff, some of the crazy nukes, or not, well, nukes and also like swarms that he would get on all these maps was just a great time to watch. And then I thought, yeah, this guy's pretty damn good at Call of Duty. Wow, he plays competitive for this team called OpTic. Maybe I better tune into some of their matches, which is what happened. I'm sure many people took that path. And also throughout the more recent years, right, during Black Ops 3, the 70 challenges and all this stuff, like, I mean, Scump's been killing it for the years. And there's a massive reason why people call this guy the king, and they have done for years. He's been the absolute upper echelon of all the Call of Duty players, not just in terms of ability. People forget how good this guy was back in the day. Advanced Warfare especially, even back to Ghost and Modern Warfare 3 as well. Scump was arguably the best player in the game. He was so good and also such a big audience that going into the Black Ops 2 World Championship, they bent the rules so he could play at 17 years of age just because he was that big of a presence at that young of an age. I don't know, for the last several years has only gone to exacerbate that further, right? His dominance during the Advanced Warfare, Jetpack era, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare as well, where he finally won his World Championship, was absolutely unparalleled for an SMG. You look at the KDs of all-time best performances, all the lists are dominated by AR players, generally the best gun to use. The only outlier at the top of those lists consistently is Scump, and he did it for years. And at his peak, he's probably the best player we've ever seen play the game. Well over 30 championships, so many grand finals, one ring, of course, back in 2017. Just a legendary career for so many different reasons, and he's decided to hang up the sticks now. So he gives the explanation as to why, what he expects for the team going forwards, and also some words to Dashy, which is going to be his replacement, right? Who's going to be his replacement on this OpTic Texas team.
All I've known for the last 14 years of my life, some of you may know this, my competitors, my fellow competitors, it's all I've known, it's all we've known for a very long time. Coming into the year, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, we were running it back with the team. Honestly, high expectations. People expected a lot out of us. Things fell short. It happens. That's part of competing. Looking around, it's really hard for me, just because I have had a crazy amount of support throughout my whole career, not only by fans, but by everyone here, so thank you. To all my old teammates, thank you. You guys really have molded me into the person that I am today, and it means a lot. I mean, I've learned so much through the bad decisions, the good decisions. It really has taught me a lot in my life. And this is just the booze while I'm crying. I've obviously never found myself in a situation like this. I'm a little nervous and apprehensive for the future, but I'm also excited on top of that. Content's always been something that I've wanted to do personally. With the CDL and how high things are nowadays, like, it's hard nowadays to do content. Content on top of competing is really hard just because of how high the competition is. And after seeing Kyler and you as a sub duo with the pacing, it was kind of an easy decision. Like, I'm not like that. Like, I'm not fast like that anymore. Like, these guys, they're different, and it's a hard decision. But bringing Brandon back made sense. Life's too short to hold grudges or be mad at each other, and I hope he uses this opportunity to be a good teammate. And Brandon, I'm gonna be on your ass. Please use this opportunity well, because again, I'm falling down so you can go up, and I hope that, you use this right. For the supporters that may be mad or upset at me and my decision, I'm sorry, but I promise I'll make it up. I'll be attending events still and meeting people, which I really couldn't do being a player because obviously COVID. So now I'm gonna be obviously meeting people, and we have other things in the works. Coming into the year, I was already on the fence about giving it another go, and I really thought that I could do it, but I overestimated my energy, and that happens, and I hope that y'all can forgive me, but again, I hope y'all fry. The support I've been given with so many decisions in my career is astonishing, and I hope this is no different. Thank you guys for the years of memory, the good and the bad, and here's to another chapter of my life. Greenwall for life, brick by brick, family.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Congratulations, man.
Cheers, brother. Cheers. Thank you.
Incredible career.
So some really emotional stuff, right? I mean, Scump, obviously everyone came over to kind of hear his retirement speech, and he explained how going into this season, we already knew that going into this year, it could have been Scump's final year. That question was there, and I think he decided to stay because Shotzzy was going to stay, and therefore he decided, you know what, all right, we'll run it back one last time. When the run it back was obviously going to fail, Scump probably made his mind up that, you know what, I only wanted to do this if, we could make it work with this team. It didn't happen, so I'm just going to decide to step away here. And he also said, right, that the stresses that it's taking on him, like taking him away from the content that he wants to make and the other cool things that he wants to do, is just a bit too much for him to take right now. Crazy thing is, right, the last series he played against Boston on Sunday, he absolutely fried 1.22 KD, arguably the best player in the lobby. Like, but Scump still got the ability, but it's more that he, the willingness isn't quite there anymore given the other things that he wants to pursue, and you can understand why. And I guess he thinks that, you know what, his passion, his motivation, everything that was going into making this last year successful wasn't, it was more of a challenge that he thought it would be making this work, especially with all the drama they've experienced over the last few weeks. And if that wasn't the case, then probably Scump still stays around. And we did raise the question when the OpTic changes were happening, like, will Scump stick around? Will Scump call it a day early? To be honest, I didn't expect this, right? I thought they'd made their change. They were liking the thing with Huke. I thought that was a perfectly sensible situation. But as it turns out, for the reasons described, Scump is going to call it a day now. And I mean, who can blame him, right? You can't blame any decisions this guy makes, because what a legendary career, and I already dived into that in more detail, but just wanted to look at some of his performances from several years. I mean, this isn't even including the last couple of World Championships, but just the numbers that he had across, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, just absolute dominance on the SMG, and even in recent times, for example, Black Ops 4, 2019 had a great run that season as well, and obviously has been the biggest name in Call of Duty. When we discussed this the first time a few months ago when Scump was announcing his retirement at the end of the season, the question was there, how much is this going to affect competitive Call of Duty? What's it going to do for it? Like, is it going to die now kind of thing? And look, Scump's made it very clear, even over the past few weeks, Scump was talking on stream that when he retires, he's going to be very much involved in the COD scene. He's going to be attending events. He's going to be doing watch parties on his Twitch channel, right? So I think Scump will still very much be involved in competitive Call of Duty. We won't just see him on main stage anymore, right? And we thought maybe we'd get one last World Championship with Scump, one last event with Scump, but, not going to be happening. Raleigh turned out to be his final event, and yeah, even from those of you who watched this video way back in the day, Sweatban and 88-0 on Raid, I'm sure a lot of you guys are too new to the scene to remember this one, but for those of you guys do remember, you will certainly remember. And even in the more recent times, for example, the 70 challenges that Scump was doing, it's just such a great time. And yeah, what an icon of competitive Call of Duty, and known outside of just competitive COD, known in Call of Duty, known by players in mainstream sports. I've seen Scump go to like NBA games, and the players are coming over dapping him up, knowing that he said Scumpy, haven't he? The absolute king of the scene. But yes, all of the dynasty is now officially retired. Karma went, of course, in Modern Warfare. Formal after Cold War, but he's still competing in Halo. Crimsix after last season, and Modern Warfare 2, pretty much as expected, did claim Scump's career as well. So all of the dynasty is gone. And having discussed at length Scump's legacy and everything along those lines, we've got to talk about what it means for OpTic, because either Scump did think, you know what, I can't really hack this anymore. It's just too much stress and anguish and all this, and it just makes more sense wanted me to call it a day, or whether he thought, you know what, all this drama internally is not setting me up well for a good final season. I might as well just call it now, and I'm going to enjoy it way more if I do call it now and just watch from the sidelines. So after all the drama with Dashy and Rambo just a few days ago, Dashy is now back in the starting team, and the words from Scump to Dashy were quite something as well, because even Dashy said on stream the other day, on Ben's stream, like, you know, he wasn't so willing to say, oh yes, Scump's still a good friends. You know, he obviously felt some bad blood there. Scump now comes out and says, look, Dashy, make the most of this opportunity. You squandered it before, is kind of what he said. Like, this is your chance. You know, basically what he said is, I'll fall so you can rise, right? I'm falling so you can rise. Even Bance quotes it here and says, I'm falling so you can rise. I would crumble under the pressure if Scump said that to me. So, you know, it's quite the thing for Dashy to do, right? We thought, okay, is Prid going to replace Scump? Who's going to replace Scump? What's the pressure going to be on them when they do come in? And effectively what's happening here is Dashy's coming in back, I guess, as the main. So in a way, like iLLeY, I guess, will be the flex again now. Dashy will probably be the main again. But technically, it's minus Scump plus Dashy. And, I mean, yeah, the pressure is absolutely on him to deliver. He did respond to this. And, you know, it's obviously good to see that very quickly after the friction, things, I'm sure, have healed a bit within that camp. Because the decision for Scump to step away will have, you know, obviously changed up a lot of things and healed some wounds, I suppose, as well. Because I'm sure that Dashy will think, you know what, Rambo, yeah, we disagree, but you're going to make some changes. I'm going to make some changes. Scump retiring will allow things to probably heal a little bit better than they would have otherwise. And as Dashy says, today is hitting a little different. One of my favorite people, teammates I've ever had, and a pleasure, well, the pleasure to be around. I appreciate everything you've done for me over these years. I just hope to make you proud from the outside, brother Scump. Hashtag the GOAT. Hashtag so tippable. So, I mean, yeah, great tweet from Dashy, but I mean, man, this OpTic saga has been something else. Every time you think it's at an end, there's something else coming along the horizon, but surely this is it for now. And even Rettles here says, get back to the HQ, bro. I think maybe Dashy's back in Canada or something, like, get back there now. They've got to start going. So, I mean, yeah, what do you guys think about all this stuff? Dashy's back in the starting team. I'm sure we're going to talk about that more and the implications of that over the coming days. Is the team chalked? Even Scump was saying, look, I mean, Huke's just such a fast-paced SMG that Scump can't really hack it anymore, but it's not like Scump was bad at all, and he's been absolutely frying so far this season. And also, I've got to mention the reply here from Pred. He comes back with a crown emoji, of course, because, you know, King Scumpy's now calling it a day. But what does this mean for the off-season? Because, I mean, look, it's not like Dashy and Rambo are now going to be best of friends again, right? And whether there's still changes to come over the coming months, I suppose we shall see. But today really is more about Scump and everything that he's done for Call of Duty, and everything that hopefully he'll go on to achieve in the future as well, whether in Call of Duty or beyond. Like, I'm sure I'll be following him wherever he goes, and we'll definitely be, well, we're not going to stop talking about Scump just because he retired. I'll say that for free. And even this from Methodz, right? You know, I had to blur a little bit of this out, but, you know, this guy waited until he beat me and retired the next day. Kind of funny from Scump, right? He decided, you know what, I'm going to let this new roster be formed, going to play a match with this new roster against Ziddy, take him down game 5, and then retire immediately from competitive Call of Duty. And this, I suppose, will be Scump's final highlight of his career if it wants to load. So very much interested your thoughts on all this in the comment section below. What a phenomenal legacy Scump leaves. A sad day, of course, for Call of Duty, but you know, in a way, it's good to look back on the memories and appreciate what Scump has done for Call of Duty, the good times that he's given us as fans of the scene over the years, and appreciate what a talented player that he has been all this time, and a content creator as well, as he will continue to be going forward. So hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.